Welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about The Man in Black Season 3 movie. That movie is the third installment of the Man in Black series, guys. The first movie came in 1997, the next movie came in about 2002, and it's later this third installment has come. It has come in 2012, that is, after 10 years, guys. The special thing you will find inside this movie is that firstly, it is a science fiction comedy movie. Secondly, it is a time travel movie. The movie is, as well as visuals and graphics, 10 years of recording, you will get to see much better than the previous movie. At the beginning of the story inside Hades time travel, we are shown a prison inside which guard is guarding an alien, where we see a visitor girl who comes with a cake in her hand and she goes to meet the alien. After checking that God had come, God gives him permission to sleep inside, but with that, he follows him twice. Now here we are shown the villain of this story, whose name was Forrest. This is a bull. Return Leon was of the species, that is, the last alien of that species was settled inside the bars of the prison. The visitor girl brought him a cake. Within a few minutes, we see that a small animal emerges from it. The beast was an alien that was part of its body, and now the beast killed the guard standing there, after going inside it, and after, it broke all the handcuffs of the posse and captured Boris Freeze, the boys, and started going out of that jail. Sometimes there was another prisoner inside that channel, and she said that you were going to take me with her, but the rain betrayed him there. He kills him right there. Half starts to come out, but there is a lot of life to be there, and he has to face a lot of guards. All the people start getting up, then we come to know that this prison is not on Earth but inside space now, and when it comes out from there we come to know that it is a game which is made on the moon called Lunar Max, and ISI were created on the body strain inside. Now we shoot a scene where we're shown more flags of the agents from their return from the old mission, and then they learn that there's a new spec here, that it was to find out that it belongs to an alien, and who is this alien? When the respected person reached the headquarters, there was a conference going on. That conference was going on for the ad, that is, those who had died, and now the agents had taken the place. Agent and it too visits Jet, says some words there to pay tribute. After this, we are shown a shop where a boy named Chuckley Price was sitting near him. Boris came standing, and the boy said, "Tell me that time travel machine." Then Jeffy told him, "Have you got fathers for you? Now I want to tell you, it is important. This is daughter Price's son and daughter's Price war." Also looks Mathsky was locked inside the prison for the last many years, and there was only one person who knew everything about the timetable. On the other hand, Engine Key had come to know that he had come here on this channel because the spaceship he was in, people were finding out that it was of time aliens. Boloj arrives in Presto where Shakti tries to talk that S is actually not a human, but he was also an alien. The agent would have been very angry on that alien. There is a suspicion here because he used to feed aliens to humans. See, this agent says that your license will be cancelled from here. Goes there to wait for the rain. The Engine Key knew that I would definitely come here, but within a short while, the fight started there. All the people sitting in that restaurant were aliens, and they let's start attacking a big one in the kitchen. The middleman who was inside only the first time had also come out, and she was following the agent. Now when he had reached there in the rain, he started trying to kill, and Jide reached there to save the same time, and as soon as he opened the door, the arrows coming out of the hands of the warriors started at that rate, and the check falls down from a very high building. It seems that they are saved, but the boys standing above say one thing and leave that you are not even alive in reality. After all, he went to the voice transfer saying, "What is this?" when he asked how this thing, so that he did not say anything, and said that you should not talk about what you never want to know. The next day I absolutely tried to know everything about headquarters, but Eisman Sr. and there he only gets this information that within July 15th, 1969 one of the Next Point alien named Body Strain, and he killed a lot of aliens, that's why he was imprisoned. He first killed Roman Banjara, someone inside Ireland, then he killed him in the factory, and lastly, in a fight with an intern in Cape Canaveral. When Abe tries to ask more from that computer shows copy access, that is, there are some things that cannot be shown even to a high-level agent. That computer has said one thing. It was also told that in July 1969, in the fight between Boris and Boris, Agent K was also given a prize because he launched the RK device on Earth, and this device protects the bullet aliens from coming to Earth. Wanted to know things, but he could not understand what Boris had said, and after all, it happened in 1969 that he called G and said that there were many things that I have to tell you and maybe you know. But like how angry he was at that time, that's why he doesn't talk, but he knew once that if he had not been under this tower, and he had come to Earth, then he would kill K to take revenge. Will definitely come because he takes his dirt and sits in his house. The next morning, he goes to AJ's house, but by then time has changed a lot, there is another family living inside the house. When James reaches the Black headquarters, his partner is also someone else. When he talks about everyone calls him ignorant, and no one knows anything about him. Abe shouts loudly in front of everyone there that everyone had a great joke. Now let me tell you about the quick. Then there comes the agent who has become a thing. Now you tell Edit, okay, the one you are looking for died 40 years ago. To Jay says that I was just talking to him last night, we were together, so how is this thing possible? Then tells the agents that this is possible only with one and only thing. All this time travel many years ago, there was a crazy alien named Price who invented time travel. He was killed and imprisoned for years. Only then do they come to know that the point above the Earth has been attacked by aliens. V says that you people should quickly put an economic net on the Earth. Then Agent says that something like oxide, no. Then Jack says that it was exported. Then she tells the agent that K has been dead for the last 40 years. Then I understand something. If it is not there, then where will the 8 minutes come from? If not only you, if it happens, then any alien spaceship can attack the Earth. And now G understands that first of all, he will also have to time travel. Because of this time travel, he can kill it, and if Boys dies, then everything. First of all, as soon as he reaches Jeffrey's shop and asks Jeffrey about the same time travel, Jeffrey takes him to the top of the building and starts telling him about that time travel budget. He says that when you are only 2 yards away from the ground, the green liquid will start filling inside this gadget. I fix your date inside at 100 July 1969, the day you have to go. Then Jeff says that you set it in July 15th, 1969, so that I can kill Boris in the square a day earlier. Then Jeffrey asks Archer, where do you want to go? Then it says that the alien he killed on July 15th and was by the Romans, whoever was in Coney Island. I go there first. Jira asks only one question in the end. Or why can't anyone remember other people except me? Now Jeffrey comes. This is a big deal that only you and only you know. The engine state means that in 1969 maybe you were also there at that time, and if you also understand this thing, then I must tell you the whole story after coming. Agent JV now time travels to July 5th, 1969, and he jumps off the building. He steals a car from outside the Height and starts arriving from there inside Coney Island. Gives us Boys, who is now 40 years young, in prison. Before he could save Roman and kill the warriors, Boris had already killed Roman Banjara and left. Jay was about to shoot almost Voice. Before it reaches there, the guise of instant. Now you see here this time has reached through July 1969, i.e. the time 40 years ago from today, when the young agent 40 years ago is shown to us exactly. He doesn't even know and makes him unconscious by giving him an electric shock. After regaining consciousness, he looks at me. The first question is, how do you know me and how do you have this device? Then they start rotating those things, and at the same time the instant OP reaches there. The cake seems to me to be a very crazy person that Koja's nothing is trusted. That's why he is taken to the memory erasing room to erase the memory of the past, because neutralizer was not yet invented 40 years ago. Like their K makes all efforts to stop, but he doesn't believe a single thing. There were only 15 seconds left when Jack's memory was about to be erased, but at the same time, Jay spoke some such things there, which forced him to listen. It says that tomorrow's day I will go to catch Cortus, but don't kill him, then don't imprison him, otherwise the time to come will be very terrible. On hearing this, he stops that time machine over there, and frees G from there. gives up and now starts to understand that maybe it is Mi's agent who came from inside the future, and now both of them together go to stop the events happening in the future. Then it asks, where do we have to go first? Then Jay thinks by adding all his memories that in the end, when the enemy was killed, he was murdered a second later. The name of some office came. Then that one from his pocket takes out the matchbox, and one knew that this factory is a place. Now both together reach a place where there were already two aliens. He tries to ask those two aliens, where is your boss? They both aliens starting, I refuse to tell the address of my boss, because that alien starts playing with Saffron, and after some time when he comes to know about his boss, he feels that it is too late to remove him, because the alien who was there has already killed Boris. But then they find a kilo that a book was kept there on which it was written that Glamour. They knew where to go next, a place where the fashion show is going on. They knew that Boris was about to arrive in Glamour because he now had to kill Griffin. Now I want to tell you about Krishna. Griffin was such an alien that the last alien of the species was left for him. It was that he could see everything inside the future. That is, whatever is going to happen in this war, he already senses it, and along with this, Hussein had the outlet and the inlet, a device that once it hits a planet, it cannot be destroyed by any other planet. Boris wanted to save his Bollywood and species, so he reached the same place to take 8 minutes from Barfi. So the girlfriend said that if I escape from here, then you guys will meet me later, I will give you a gift, and after that, he said that within the next 2 minutes, the boy would reach here, and if we talked, if I wasted time, then it will kill me and you all, and within a few seconds this Everest reaches there, but at the time Jiffin was protecting it. It escapes from there. That's why he had a normal this, and the boys got out of his hands, both of you, and this didn't know where he had gone, and Boris was also called. That's why they both go to a restaurant to have something to eat. Only then it is remembered that her had said at the last moment that a great game is about to take place. I was left to be in JP to reach the same stadium, which they had guessed, and their guess turned out to be correct. Griffin was inside the same stadium, but the problem was that no match was going on there. But then it was its power, because he could see in the future. He was enjoying the match when Griffin sees that others have come back. He gives a gift. That gift was nothing but friends, and net the gift tells that I have found my planet. My complete destroy has been done, but I don't want you people's meaning to be destroyed too. In the running game, he shows these two. In the midst of all this, he forgets to see that at the same time, the boys finally pick him up. Now Jay and Kay also come out. He takes out the device from his car. It was a bike, which was fixed, not two before, but only one, but it was a super fast speed bike. Now he starts chasing both the boys. He sends a small alien coming out of his hand to the print inside the relationship, and him when he comes to China is on the other side and makes the G-boys mad and takes the girlfriend to him. They think that the boys are dead inside at this point, but actually, it is not so. Boris had escaped from there. The boy standing at a place when he sees him open the instrument snatched from him, but it is not art, but it is an empty box, and the guys reach at this time real boys, i.e. joggers, after last year, because present it was of time, and now this part has been received by doing time travel, i.e. in 1969. Now the points were standing here in both hands of 1969 and standing in front of the same point of 2012. They had spent 40 years in captivity, and with this, their one hand was also cut off. Now they both together make further planning here, and they're on the other side. Fall then shows his real face. He tells that when unlike this tower is lying behind us, we have to hide things, and now he is out, takes it out, and gives it to Ko. He says that you just have to take it out of the earth. Kate, everyone thinks how this thing will be possible. Then Prince looks at Chauk. Was about to go to the moon for the first time, and now it says that you just have to put it on top of this rocket. It will do the rest on its own, but only then I would have refused to go there. That is, Captain of Wealth, where this whole thing was going to happen, where the rocket was going to be launched. It tells that there can be any other option. Then a friend says that whose death is written, their death is going to happen for your Jayan group. All of them reach the headquarters of the back, where they have a gadget that can get them to Florida very quickly. All three of them leave from there and go to the site of the rocket launch, but it is not so easy for them to get there. Now those soldiers don't leave them after all. They put their hand on the shoulder of their highest authority general and show them the victory that they need to see later. All the soldiers happen to release them. Their group in K comes forward with him, but then says that if there is time, I will definitely meet. My journey ends here in General Say and K take to the lift from where he can reach the script capsule of the rocket. The general tells them both that after reaching the skip capsule, you guys will leave soon, and that if they don't leave, the heat coming out of it can kill both of them. So what did I show then, General? He says that I was showing you and your work, which is very important for our Earth. J and K had not reached their destination yet, and then it rained there. It says he'll take care of it. You go up over there, and he is about to reach the almost rocket that in the middle of their Boris comes in. One time it was from 1969, and the other one was Old Boy Chowky Voice. Year later was Full Forest Wealth was fighting with Czech. As soon as he moves to kill the cords, at the same time Boy's injures process coming out of his hand and sees. Now that he can do time travel, and at the same time he can destroy this bar, he runs towards the rain, takes this bar with him, and goes down from that place. Now that he is a down dog from a high altitude, he also sets the time travel plot in his hand. Within a few seconds, the gadget brings them back up. This time starts killing the president again, but this time jail is already old. If the incident had been known, then he avoided all your attacks and again pushed the boys, but this time he is not the dog himself. This leads us to know that Z killed him by time traveling. Had come on the other side, you had paid towards the skip capsule and put the plate there, and there on the other side, when the scrap reaches the capsule, the new one Boris also reaches there, and it takes 8 minutes in his hand. But then there he suits him with his mind, and Boy's hand is cut off, and Boys of 1969 falls down from there. Only then Violet picks up the script and put it inside the capsule and starts running from there. Within some time, it leaves from there and reaches the place where it meets the general, and within a short time we also see that the rocket is launched. After the launch, as soon as it crosses the Earth, so you definitely get it, and it covers the whole hairs. Now when the general asks where it went, it tells that it has gone back to its world, but actually it still didn't go there, was standing nearby. At the same time the Boys of 1969 stand there again. That is why the general dies there, as we know that Krishna had said that death is there or will remain. If someone is needed, then this death comes. All these things are standing there on the general. I was watching on the side when the general died, then a child came out of the car parked on the side, whose name was changed, and he was the son of that general. He said that my father gave me a lot here. Inside which we had set the time and the rocket launch, whose time was 930. Only then the introduction takes out 15 from his pocket and starts to see that the small child is none other than he himself was 40 years from the art that incident. First, he himself was also standing there. Then that child started asking where my father went, and when he came, so that no one could answer his words, and he said that you have a superhero, and that child memory cures from there, and takes care of that child for many years. And now look, everything was understood, that after all those years he thought that he had left his sins, but had not left him. He had died in that incident, and now the time traveler time was also over. He had reached again on the same day last they both had spent together, and now seeing this meeting, he was very happy, and Qatar was thankful. All the grudges that BJP had for so many years have gone away, although this time it did not know that it had reached here by time travel, but it was watching all these prints sitting nearby, and he said that this is the best moment of his life so far. And guys, this story ends here, so all of you must tell me that time travel movie which had too many Scorpios inside it and too many good moles and twists, were all of you, how did you like it? Now I will meet you next any other story, so let's meet in the next video. Till then, tada.